If you grew up anywhere in Latin America, someone told you not to walk near the river at night. Not because of the current, not because of the dark. Because of her. They call her La Llorona, the weeping woman. And for over 500 years, her cry has been used to keep children away from water, away from danger, away from the dark. But here's the question almost nobody asks. Who was she before she became a ghost? The most common version goes like this. Her name was Maria. She was beautiful, maybe too beautiful for her own good. And she fell in love with a man above her station, a wealthy man. A man who eventually grew tired of her, or betrayed her, or left her for someone else. The details shift depending on who's telling it. What doesn't shift is what happened next. In a fit of grief, rage, or madness, again, it depends who you ask, Maria took her own children down to the river. And she drowned them. The moment their bodies disappeared beneath the water, something in her broke. She realized what she'd done. And she drowned herself too, trying to reach them. But death didn't let her rest. Instead, she was condemned to wander the earth forever, searching for the children she killed with her own hands, walking the riverbanks at night, crying out into the dark. Ay, mis hijos, ¿dónde están mis hijos? My children, where are my children? Parents still use her story today, not to entertain, but to warn. Stay away from the water after dark, or La Llorona might mistake you for one of hers. Here's where it gets interesting, because historians don't actually agree on where La Llorona came from. And the real answer is older and stranger than the ghost story itself. One theory traces her back to before the Spanish ever arrived in Mexico. In the Florentine Codex, a massive 16th century encyclopedia of Aztec life, written by a Franciscan friar working with Nahua scholars. There's a description of a goddess named Cihuacóatl. Her name means snake woman. She was described as appearing dressed in white, walking at night, weeping and wailing through the streets of Tenochtitlan. And according to the Codex, she was considered an omen, specifically an omen of war. Her cries were recorded as one of 10 signs that foretold the coming of the Spanish conquest, years before Cortés ever set foot in Mexico. Think about that for a second. A weeping woman in white wandering at night, crying about loss, recorded as a warning of catastrophe before the catastrophe even happened. That's one origin. But there's a second one, just as widely believed. Some historians connect La Llorona to a real historical woman, Malinche, better known as La Malinche. She was an indigenous woman who became an interpreter, and by some accounts, a consort for Hernán Cortés during the conquest of the Aztec Empire. In this version, La Llorona isn't a supernatural omen. She's a woman mourning what colonization did to her people, to her children, to her own identity, caught permanently between two worlds. Both theories point to the same period, the violent collision between indigenous Mexico and the Spanish Empire. And that's probably not a coincidence. Some scholars who study this legend seriously, not ghost hunters, actual folklorists, argue that La Llorona isn't really about one woman at all. She's about a wound. A story that Mexico kept telling itself, generation after generation, about grief, betrayal, and loss that never fully healed. Here's what's wild. La Llorona didn't stay put. As Mexican communities spread north into what's now Texas and the American Southwest, she came with them. Historical societies in Texas have documented local versions of her story for over a century. She's considered one of the most well-known ghosts in the entire state, tied specifically to the region's Mexican and colonial history. But she didn't just move north. She moved south, too, into Guatemala, into Ecuador, into Venezuela. And every region added its own details. In some versions, she has yellow eyes. In others, no face at all beneath her veil. In some southwestern tellings, she doesn't just mourn. She actively hunts, searching for living children to replace the ones she lost. The story never freezes. It adapts to whoever's telling it and whatever they're afraid of. So why has this legend survived 5 centuries, across at least a dozen countries, without ever fading out? Because it's not really a ghost story. It's a tool. Parents have used La Llorona for generations as a way to keep children away from rivers and lakes at night. A real, practical danger dressed up as a supernatural one. Fear a ghost, and you'll stay out of the water. That's a lesson that's kept kids safe for hundreds of years, whether or not anyone actually believed the ghost was real. But underneath that practical warning, something heavier. La Llorona carries the weight of colonization, of betrayal, of a mother's worst possible failure. She's not a monster from nowhere. She's grief itself, given a shape and a voice, walking the riverbank forever because the pain never got the chance to end. So the next time someone tells you to stay away from the water after dark, ask them why. Chances are, they'll tell you about a woman in white, crying for children she can never find. And somewhere in Mexico, in Texas, in Guatemala, in 100 small towns along 100 different rivers, someone is telling that same story tonight, exactly the way it's been told for 500 years. Which legend from your country scared you the most as a kid? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. And if you want more legends like this, real folklore, real history, no fake jump scares, subscribe. Next legend. A whistle in the dark plains of Venezuela that means something is already too close.